in agriculture, construction, wholesale, which is that distribution and logistics operation because of all the great opportunities that UPS offers. And Barbara reminded me when I was talking to her last night that when you look at agriculture, that runs the gamut. I mean, the staffing plan for in the agriculture industry can go from accountants to IT professionals to HR managers. So don't just think of that as, you know, the family farm, okay? So there's a lot more to that. And when you look at the web portal and you get on Kicks, you can drill down into each of those sectors and look at all of the employers associated with that industry and get a much better sense of the types of jobs that might be associated with it. Okay, this is another important slide, I think, for anybody looking for where they want to position themselves from a career standpoint. Difficulty finding employees. So what employers or what industries having the toughest time filling positions? And where maybe do you want to pursue your career change based on that? If you look at that, the two hardest to fill industries, the two industries that have the hardest time filling positions are the agriculture industry and the government. And interestingly enough, as Colonel Glicken was saying earlier, you know, those jobs on Fort Knox, they value that Army experience. Do we have any veterans in the audience? Yeah, a lot of them. Thank you for your service. And definitely. Your experience is valued. And you can see where if you haven't considered it, that may be something you want to think about, okay? So this is just another example of some really great information that you can glean as you look at how you want to pursue your employment opportunities or entrepreneurial opportunities. I talked about the growth in the service industry. A lot of entrepreneurs coming down to the southern portion of this region. And this whole region has quite an entrepreneurial spirit. So just something to think about there as well. Let me see here. Median wages. Not a whole lot to talk about on this one. They said that from the results of the employer survey, they show construction, mining, transportation, and utilities having some of the highest average salaries on an hourly basis for both experienced and non-experienced. But just another example of the rich data that you can glean from the portal. And then another slide that we thought another piece of information that we thought would be important to all of you is we asked employers in the region, we surveyed businesses and asked if their future workforce would include more positions requiring a bachelor's degree. And as you can see, the trend is definitely positive. It shows that 25% of employers reported that their future workforce would include more positions requiring a bachelor's degree. So, you know, it's the message that we always hear about how education is definitely important and will continue to be. And this is just a 12 to 18-month period. As part of the Wired 65 initiative, they did what was called the TIP report, the Talent Innovation Place report, and that looked out 10 to 20 years. And those indicators were even higher in terms of the percentage of bachelor's degrees that would be required by employers. It's just an even a stronger indication that we're trending towards an even more skilled and educated workforce. Okay, so where do you find this information? I keep talking about Kicks, right? How many of you have been to the booth out there? Good, good. Okay, so how many of you, when you go home today, are gonna go and create your account on Kicks.com? Excellent. Or you could do it right here if you have your laptop. If you have Wi-Fi, we have Wi-Fi signal. But essentially, the information that I just talked about, just touched on, you know, that's just the tip of the iceberg. You can drill down by occupation, is all located on this portal. And as Jean had mentioned earlier, it's a place for people who are interested in seeking employment opportunities, employers who are seeking talent, education and training providers seeking prospective students. And how many of you have your Facebook or your LinkedIn account? Yep, okay. There is a state-of-the-art social networking capability on this portal to allow all of us to collaborate with one another. There's a main blog, there's subgroups. So if you have an affinity for a particular profession or just have a particular interest, subgroups can be created and you collaborate across the 26-county region and beyond. So we're really excited about its capabilities. And that's just the home page. When I talk about the labor market information, if you go up to the top of the homepage, I think it's the first tab, it says My Kicks Career, and click on it. There's a choice for labor market information, and this is the page that it takes you to. I just want you to get a chance to see that. And as I mentioned, you can look at specific occupations. Hundreds of occupations were surveyed. And even if an occupation wasn't surveyed, so we didn't get that regional information, we did incorporate the national statistics, because you can't survey every occupation out there, but we surveyed a lot of them when you talk to over 5,000 employers, most definitely. And then one other piece of this that I wanted to tell you about was the skills analysis. I heard Mr. Richmond talking earlier about transferable skills. Oftentimes, people can talk about their work history, right? You can say what jobs you've had, but taking that and turning it into what skills you have and translating that to other career opportunities is not the easiest thing to do. We have a tool on here that can help you do that very quickly. It's called the skills analysis. Again, it's under that My Kicks Career drop-down. And you just click on it, and it walks you through the process. You can enter your work history, enter your education, your level of education, and up comes a series of 6 different skills. I think I counted those right, yep. From math skills to common skills to job skills. And it never starts you with a blank slate. It determines, it's intuitive, it knows what, based on your work history and your education, what skills you likely possess. Now, if maybe you're not the best time manager, you can unclick that. It gives you that option. Or you keep a messy desk like me, you can unclick the one that says keeps a clean work environment. And it walks you through that skills analysis, and in the end, it tells you where you're a skills match. And it'll obviously come up where you're a skills match likely in the professions that you've had or the jobs that you've had. But it may also raise awareness of the types of jobs or professions that you wouldn't otherwise have thought of. Okay, then the beauty of it is maybe you have a little bit of a skills gap. Okay, where do I get that education and training to bridge the gap? Don't have to leave the KICS portal. We've tried to make it a one-stop shop. You just click on that job and you can go to the Learning Exchange. It's a comprehensive listing of every education and training provider in the region and beyond. You can search by institution, or you can search by program of study. So I just encourage you, there's so many facets to the portal. I've only touched on some of the, the career trends or the industry sector trends and some of its capabilities right here, but we're really excited about it. I noticed in the program when I was reviewing the slides last night with Barb that it mentioned we were going to talk about green jobs, and there wasn't a single slide on green jobs in the presentation. Never fear. We did pull out the executive summary and took a look at, they did do research on the types of green jobs. Things that they asked about, they looked at 3 different types of green jobs per se. Green increased demand occupations, I don't have any slides on these, but those are existing occupations that are in an increased demand due to green economy activities. Then there's green enhanced skill occupations. Those are existing occupations that have reshaped their worker or work requirements due to the green economy or focused on the green sector. And then green new and emerging occupations. And those are brand new occupations emerging due to the needs of the green economy. So when we interviewed all these employers, we asked them about those 3 different types of green employment opportunities. And typically what we found were not a whole lot of the green new and emerging occupations. In most cases, those current jobs in this region, the green skills